Hi guys, welcome back to another Forza Motorsport race on my channel. This one is with the Datsun Bob Shop Racing 280ZX Turbo. It's a 4.2 litre twin turbocharged V8, 750 brake horsepower, with just 650 pounds of torque, now 881 newton meters. It's a front-engined rear-wheel drive 5-speed transmission and currently weighs around 2,400 pounds, which is just over 1,000 kilograms. The information on the track is Watkins Glen, nicknamed the Glen by motorsport fans, has been known as the Mecca for North America road racing since the actual road course was built in '56. Previous to the circuit's construction, drivers raced on the public roads surrounding the serene village of the southern tip of Seneca Lake in New York State. Since then, Watkins Glen has been the host of the most notable form of racing, including being the 20-year home of the United States Grand Prix. Okay, this one is the full circuit. We are racing at the 3.36 miles, 5.14 kilometer race. I started at the back of the grid, as yet again came late into the lobby. I did do some practice laps. I was getting in within the top half of the grid, but anyway, it's more exciting if you're starting at the back because you've actually got a lot more content to discuss. And I'll put a replay up in the corner as we always do, just to give you a bit more context and what hopefully give you some insight of what actually goes on the race. So as you can see, got a normal start, as you would think. A lot of carnage in the first corner. I just really don't understand how people can just drive around the corner safely and not hit each other, but you know, that's multiplayer racing for you. Coming up with a few contacts as you normally would do, and up onto the back straight, trying to stay out the way, trying to stay in out of harm's way, should I say, without being hit. And what will happen now, as you will see in a minute, just coming up onto the back straight, which is turn 4 towards the inner loop, I end up getting rear-ended shunted by some guy who just decides to use my back of my car as a brake marker. I will show you a couple of replays of what actually happened. This is my car from the rear. As you can see, just got a pretty much major hit at the back end of the vehicle, just pushed me wide off the track and put me into the wall. This is another shot from it here. As you can see, he's just going way too fast for the corner, uses me as a brake marker, rams me up the rear, takes me out. And there's another angle from his car. He's driving another classic car, not sure what model that is. It's very similar to mine. It could actually be just one which is actually running the same livery, the Bob Sharp livery. As you can see, he's just ramming me everywhere. But anyway, that's the incident. We'll get back onto the race now. We're currently in P19 now, so basically at the back where we pretty much started. I did actually run full downforce on this car because I knew this track was quite twisty. The only thing I was struggling on was the back straight, which was turns 4 to the inner loop. We're on the outer loop now, coming towards Chute, which is turn 6. This is actually, sorry, this is turn 8. This is called the heel. I don't know why Watkins Glen is got names to do with feet, but anyway, the boot, the toe, the heel, maybe because it looks like a foot, who knows. Anyway, I digress. We'll move on. So we're coming down to the end of the first lap. This is coming up to turns 9 and 10. They don't have actually any names. I can't see anything on the track information, but we'll just go with turns 9 and 10 just to keep it a bit simple. As you can always see, yet again, there's more incidents as always. I'm currently up to 16th now, just coming around the final corner of the first lap. Just to note, this is actually a 10-lap race with a pit stop included. I did try to edit out the inconsistencies with the pit lag, as I've mentioned before in my previous videos. Hopefully it should sync up properly, and well, I've done the best I can anyway. So coming up into turn 2 now, as you can see, there's a couple of cars ahead, all running in quite close proximity to each other. My thinking was just to get up onto the back straight, get into the slipstream, and hopefully try and get a bit closer. The car just in front of the red one there, you can see he did hit the wall. Hopefully that might have slowed him down a bit, but it doesn't look like it has. So we're coming up into the inner loop now on this lap 2, onto turn 5, and down towards Chute, which is turn 6. Do apologise, I just hit my hand on the desk. Ouch. Up into turn 6, still cars running a bit wide, as you can see. Just trying to get, as I always say, a little steady rhythm. These cars are just erratic, running wide. I do get the impression that these people just don't want to race with other people because I mean, look at the way they're racing. I mean, 3 cars abreast in that corner there. Just done a nice little cheeky move there. I had nowhere to go. I couldn't slam on. I did slow down. I didn't take a penalty, thank God. The stewards didn't think it was necessary to give me a penalty because, in all honesty, it was out of my control. So up on the inside now of this guy called Nabao 1, racing another classic. I presume it's another Nissan. I could be wrong. But if you do know the car in particular, do let me know in the comments below. That'd be greatly appreciated. And as you can see in the replay, he's just been taken out. He's dropped down a couple of places. People just seem to use these lobbies now, as I've noticed recently. It's just destruction derby mode, and also cars ahead, as you can see, and just going off into the wall. We're up into 12th place, so we've jumped 5-6 positions just in 2 laps basically. So up on the inside now, coming up onto turn 1 now. It's called the 90 because it's a 90-degree bend. It does look quite sharp anyway on turn 1 because you do have to brake quite a lot. And this guy in another Audi. This one's definitely an Audi because you can see the 4 circles on the back of the vehicle, and he's called Hey You. This guy was quite clean. Not many people in this lobby were clean, and this guy was. So greatly appreciate to you, Hey You, if you are watching this video. So I do appreciate that much. It's a shame there's not more of you in this lobby, and because, you know, games like this definitely deserve it. So he does, as you can see on the proximity, you can see he's getting quite close to me there, but he's racing very clean. He's definitely, I've got full downforce in this car, but he just seems to have a little bit more acceleration. And if you look at the top right hand corner, you can see he is definitely pushing me as hard as possible. I do try and cover the inside corner of that bend there, but I end up running a little bit wide. He ends up pulling up on the inside of me, and I just checked my little camera there, and you can see he's right in my back rear quarter. But I have got a little bit more straight line speed. I just cover this corner now, which is turns 8 and 9, and he's still trying to get past me. All credit to him, but he ended up keeping this nice and tight on turns 9, and more incidents ahead. I just try and avoid. Thank God that car went invisible, otherwise it would have been pure and utter carnage. So we're now up to 10th place from the back of the grid, and we're only just starting. I think this is actually coming up to start lap 4. My thinking was, with it being 10 laps, you just come into on lap 5 and pit as you would normally do. I did start on the medium compound. Didn't think it was worth going for softs and then hards. Thinking about it, it would have been maybe worth a go, but with me racing this car for the first time on this track, I just thought to go safely with medium. So, and now we're up on to lap 4 now. We're up onto the back straights. This is where I did lose a little bit of speed, as I did mention previously. The downforce on the car is full because of the twisting sections in the track. I mean, if it was racing something a bit more straight line, you would definitely lower off the downforce. But this is another tune of mine, just custom, just tweaking it. As I've said, just basically you're playing around with the brake pressures, the downforce, the springs, the rebounds. You know, it all goes down to personal preference and your driving style at the end of the day. But I seem to think that these setups aren't actually that hard to do once you've got the basics. Like I said, if you do get a basic setup, you can just tweak it to your liking and just keep start a private lobby and just do some practice laps and just tweak the car to your liking. You will notice a hell of a difference between the stock tunes. So coming up on the end of this lap now, we've actually got a couple of cars in front of me. It's only showing 3 vehicles, as you can see. We've got a guy called Mick Bull 5196, and we've got the guy called Bubu 006. He's got the lead. You seem to find that there was quite a lot of people in this lobby also who did have penalties. Don't know why everyone's such a dirty driver, but I just honestly don't think people can race together in close proximity without having the overall sense of maybe a bit of excitement by driving into each other to see what carnage they can cause. Because if you're at the back of the race, what do you actually have to race for if you're not very competitive? I just think people should spend a bit more time practicing than just jumping in lobbies and just wrecking each other just for the sake of it. Because at the end of the day, your safety rating's going down every incident you're causing, so therefore you're basically going backwards. You're going to be put in lobbies with more people who are more destructive, and you're never going to get out of that. So in essence, you need to be racing as clean as possible to get out of these lobbies that aren't very competitive, just basically just a free-for-all of how much carnage that you can actually be involved in. But I do try and stay away from as much as possible, because at the end of the day, I want to get into the best lobbies. I mean, my safety rating did actually start off at the top. I was in AS's, and now I'm down to, I think I'm down to C lobbies now. Maybe getting a bit confused on Gran Turismo, the way that works as well, which is definitely a better way of doing it, I think, in my opinion. And also the penalty system needs to be the same as Gran Turismo. I mean, these penalties that this game gives you, like as you can look in the top left hand corner, you can see the red markers with penalties on. I don't think that's an incentive for people to stop getting in the way, because at the end of the day, if this guy hits you, he's just going to get a penalty. You're still going to be in front of you causing mayhem. It should have these slowing down lines where the car gets automatically slowed down, gets out the way, and therefore is not into getting involved with your race and spoiling it for you. Or the cars should go invisible if they've got penalties, so you can actually drive through them. Maybe that's something that Turn 10 can think about. So here we go. I'll stop rabbiting on, as I always do. In the pit lane now for another set of stock tyres. I don't actually have, just thinking about it, I did say medium. I don't actually have an upgrade for the car to actually run the racing tyres because of the PI index. So now I remember, and I do apologise for previously saying I was running mediums. They're just the stock ones that come with the car, and believe it or not, these tyres are actually very competitive, even that they're not racing tyres. So anyway, the Datsun boys give me a nice little clean transition of changing the 4 tyres back out into 15th position. Behind that guy there I did mention previously, called Hey You. There isn't really many more incidents in this race to discuss. Just trying to keep it as exciting as possible for you guys to watch. And don't forget, if you do like my content, do please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and giving the video a like. It also helps towards the channel. We are quite nicely progressing with the subscribers at the moment, but at the end of the day, it's the watch hours that I need to get my channel up to monetization, which I'm still a very long way back from getting. But I just, the way I see it is just, you know, it's a hobby at the end of the day. I can put up videos once a week and keep people interested, and hopefully my watch hours will increase, and therefore eventually, maybe in the foreseeable future, maybe get monetized, maybe start earning a little bit of money off this part-time hobby of mine. But I'm sure that's everyone else's overall opinion when they start YouTube channels. Do you want to actually get the same thing out of it as they're putting in? Because at the end of the day, it's your own personal time to bring enjoyment to other people by showing videos, especially racing videos on my channel now, because it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm sure if you've got any interests, guys, you are interested in other cars or any other racing games, do let me know in the comments. It's always great to discuss with you what your likes and dislikes are. Anyway, we'll get back into the race now. I think we're coming up onto the start of lap 6. We've got a guy in 12th position. He's called Pretty Fob 35. This guy's also got a penalty. I think there was only 3 guys who didn't have penalties in this race, if I ever remember rightly. Just briefly looking at the results, and we will discuss that in further detail at the end of the race, of course. This guy's struggling for grip. I'm not sure if he's running, he's forgot to do his tyre change. I'm not sure. It just seems to be a bit strange for him to lose traction on the back straight coming up in towards the inner loop, which is this nice little chicane section, which is great. It is very challenging to take as well if you can get it right, and it does feel very satisfying on these corners, especially when you can put your foot down on this outer loop section here. With running the full downforce in this car, it just feels very, very exhilarating to really put the foot down and just really hold on to the steering wheel. It's just so exciting to feel. I mean, obviously you're not going to get the same feeling off a joypad apart from the rumble feeling and the feedback, but the steering wheel is definitely the way to go when it comes to taking part in racing games. So we're still in 11th position now. My hope was get into the top half of the lobby. I mean, this was a full lobby, which is very unusual. I actually took part in a couple of races today, which was a Sunday now, and the lobbies were all pretty much empty. It's not great to make a video if you've only got 3 or 4 people in a lobby. I don't know what this game's going on. I don't know if it's going backwards in popularity or not, but I just seem to find a lot of the lobbies at certain times of the day don't have any people in, so really not much point taking part. But anyway, hopefully they may start bringing more. I mean, as if they haven't got enough already with regards to the different types of game multiplayer races you can take part in. Maybe they can bring more servers into it, and hopefully maybe populate more servers to help people experience the thrill of playing multiplayer. But at the moment, fingers crossed, later on in the evenings is the best part to take part in, I think anyway, with regards to getting full lobbies, to get that full interaction with other people racing. But also your safety rating is a big part to making this game a lot more enjoyable than what it currently is in its current state and form. So we're back to the race now. We're up into 10th place. We've got a guy called Milk Bull, like I said. Speed Sniffer is now in pole position. I don't know what happened to the other guy that mentioned, Boob 006, whatever his name was. Maybe it's a pit lane thing. Maybe the other guy's not gone into the pits yet and he's running the hard compound. Maybe it does give you a lot more versatility if you do run the different tyre compounds. The only plus side of racing the stock tyres is that if it ever rains, you don't actually need to come in, because these are basically tyres for every condition. So that's the only advantage you would have if the race became a wet race during. You could actually just stay out. Obviously you'd need to check your tyre degradation, but anyway, it's a good way for moving forward, guys, if you consider not playing about with the tyre strategy and just running the stock tyres. You wouldn't actually need to do any of this at all. So we're just trying to jostle for position for 9th place now with this guy called Mick Bull. I'm trying to get into his slipstream, but finding it pretty hard. I think he's got a very similar setup to mine. I think we've only actually got maybe 2 or 3 laps now coming up onto this race now. So coming down to the start of the next lap onto turn 1, he does run a little bit wide there, but trying to stay in his slipstream now up through the S's, which is turns 2 and 3. Get as close as possibly as I can, and hopefully maybe get a little bit closer. I am in slipstream range now, coming up towards the back straight onto the inner loop. I did hit a bit of the grass there, slowed me down a little bit, braking them very late there. I know I've got a lot of grip in the tyres, so I can really push the car. And as you can also notice, if you look at the map in the bottom left hand corner, you can see how many cars are quite closely grouped together. So you're not that far behind considering we started at the back. This guy just tried to brake late and push me wide. I did see it coming. I ended up braking early anyway because I knew he was a bit erratic in those corners. So anyway, he tried to take me out or tried to push me wide, but it didn't work. I think a lot of experience comes down to racing multiplayer lobbies. You do get to learn what people are going to try and do, or foresee of what they're going to do to try and push you wide on the track. I think that just comes with just taking part a lot and getting that experience up. But it is all part of racing, I suppose, but more so for these lobbies that I'm currently in at the moment, which I can't get out of. There's just so many dirty people in here. But it does, I have to say, make a very interesting race. So if you look at the track map now in the bottom left hand corner, you can see there's basically 5 or 6 cars there, all pretty much on the start finish line. We're coming up past the pit lane now towards the 90, which is turn 1, and we haven't got any more cars going in the pits as yet. I was hoping other cars were going to be go into the pits, so we could actually maybe get a few more positions. But a top half position from back of the grid is very very good for me and very happy with. Just trying to stay out of any incidents. But as you've also noticed, I had another guy there hit the wall. I end up hitting the wall because sometimes you can follow people by doing the same thing. You know, if they're going on a certain corner at a certain speed, you end up following them for some reason. I don't know what that is all about. I mean, you do see a lot of that in Formula 1 as well. That cars are following each other depending if they're taking the wrong racing line or not. Anyway, we're up into 8th position now, and we've got a guy called Nabal in the red car. He ended up hitting him slightly, but he ended up braking a little bit too late on that corner. The stewards didn't give me a penalty. He ends up just running into me again for some reason. I don't know if he was struggling for grip or anything. Anyway, but we weren't complaining. We did get up into 7th position. And one final thought, I did notice that there was a lot of people with penalties, as I have mentioned before, and I knew for the fact that if we can get to the finish line unscathed, I could actually maybe get a couple of cheeky more positions, just to the fact that people do have the penalties from the stewards. So we're coming around the last couple of corners now. This is called turn 8, which is the heel, up into turn 9. We are currently in 7th position. We're coming around one of the last couple of corners now, and I end up making a big boo-boo. I end up hitting the tyre wall. There you go. I end up spinning out from 7th position. I get back onto the track as quickly as I can. Lucky enough, I'm invisible, so it doesn't impede any other driver. But as you can also notice, there's a lot of cars now, all in my basically on my part of the track. So just trying to stay away. They're trying to get an easy run onto the last corner and maybe get a few positions. Another bit of carnage there. Another guy's gone off. I don't know what happened to him. Don't know if he hit the wall like I did in the previous corner. But anyway, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Very interesting race. What a fantastic car to drive. I have to do say so myself. Do give it a go, the Datsun 280ZX. I did do a 149 round here. I got up 14 positions from the back to 8th position. I was very happy. I did keep my 8th position because I wasn't in the 11th, but with all the penalties that we had, I ended up helping me considerably. So there you go with the stats, guys. So congratulations to Speed Sniffer. He ended up winning the race with a 149.4. I was very competitive in the 49s. There was only a couple of us within that target, so that was great to see. So I know I was competitive. Well, congratulations to everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you do want to see more content, I will put a video up in the corner for you. I do appreciate your support, and I'll catch you all the next one. Bye for now.